Theorems, rules, vocabulary, and terms for topic 2 in geometry. It's all about parallel lines, so we're going to start there. Parallel lines, I'm sure you've learned from when you were little, they're lines that don't intersect, that are equidistant, meaning the same distance apart the whole way across. But what you might not understand is that these lines, right, like this, these lines don't intersect, and they're a certain distance apart. They never intersect, but they're not parallel. So I don't know if you can tell that on the video, but these are actually skew lines. They're a three-dimensional set of lines that don't touch. Parallel lines have to be in the same plane. So parallel lines are lines that do not intersect and are coplanar, meaning they're in the same plane. They're not three-dimensional. So they have to be in the same plane. Lines that are equidistant or the same distance apart, parallel is not a rule. So if you are writing a proof and you ever are tempted to say parallel, that's an automatic wrong answer. Parallel is not a rule. It is just explaining how the lines are positioned. Perpendicular lines, another set of lines, but this time instead of not intersecting, they will intersect exactly at a 90-degree angle. So the angles created by perpendicular lines create a 90-degree angle. So those angles are created, and they're always going to be 90 degrees. This symbol is something that you will see throughout geometry. It happens a lot in proofs. This symbol actually shows you what the symbol means, because if you look straight down, doesn't that look like perpendicular lines? These are two right angles. This symbol means perpendicular. So it's like an upside down capital T, and it just means perpendicular, so that the angles would be 90. Okay, name the pairs of corresponding angles. Now you can do this if you know what corresponding angles are, but if you don't know what they are, I'm going to explain them to you. Corresponding angles are in the exact same location on the other parallel line. So we'll just say top parallel line, bottom parallel line. Whether they're parallel or not, they're still called corresponding. So if this angle 4, see how it's on top on the right, and angle 8 is on top of that black line, and it's on the right of the blue line, those are in the same location, just slid down or slid up. They're in the same location on the other line. Now, if these two black lines were parallel, then angle 4 and 8 would be congruent, but that's only if the lines are parallel. So 4 and 8, I'm going to go to the next slide, try to see if you can find some other pairs of corresponding angles. So 4 and 8, 1 and 5, 6 and 2, 3 and 7. And these are hard to see for some people. So what I recommend is saying, okay, where's angle 3? It's below the black line. So down here, I have to have one of the angles below the black line. So it's either 6 or 7. Angle 3 is to the right of the blue line. Oh, angle 7. So 3 and 7, those would be corresponding. Same location, just slid down or up. And again, those will be congruent, but only if the lines are parallel. Naming the pair of alternate interior. Again, you might know what those are, and if you do, go ahead and name the pairs. But let me explain. Alternate interior. Interior means inside, inside of those two black lines. Alternate, think of kind of like opposite or kind of diagonal kitty corner from each other. So 2 and go opposite, 8. These are alternate interior. They're both inside, but they're on opposite sides of that line, that blue line, that transversal. And then 3 and 5. So if the lines are parallel, these angles will be congruent. They're only congruent if the lines are parallel. Name the pairs of alternate exterior. Again, if you know what those are, great. Exterior meaning outside, outside of those black lines. Alternate meaning opposite. So if I said angle 1, I'm hoping you're guessing angle 7. Alternate exterior. So 1 and 7, and then 6 goes to 4. So if the lines are parallel, these angles would be congruent. If they're not parallel, they're not congruent. Converse. So those rules that we just went over, same side interior, alternate interior, converse, same side interior. Okay, to know the converse of something, it's when you take if this, then that, you just change the order. So same side interior, that rule, same side interior angles, tell you that if the lines are parallel, then same side interior or supplementary. But the converse of that is saying, if same side interior angles are supplementary, then the lines have to be parallel. So you are proving, or you use this rule when you're proving lines are parallel. So first of all, find the same side interior, same side, meaning same side of the transversal, that blue line, and on the inside. So 2 and 5, those are same side interior angles. And if these two added up to 180, that means they are supplementary, which would tell you, hey, those black lines are parallel. So if you look here, if 2 and 5 or 3 and 8, if those are supplementary or add up to 180, then the black lines are parallel. And you would use the rule, converse, same side interior. And when I say you would use the rule, I mean like on a proof. Converse, alternate interior. So keep in mind, converse is when they switch the order. So the rule, alternate interior, is if the lines are parallel, alternate interior angles are congruent. So the converse, if alternate interior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. You're proving that the lines are parallel. So alternate interior would be 2 and 8. So if those two angles are congruent, the lines are parallel, or 3 and 5. 3 and 5 or 2 and 8. And it could be either set, or it could be both sets. You don't have to prove both of them, but at least one of the sets has to be congruent to prove that the lines are parallel. Another converse, corresponding. So if the lines are parallel, then corresponding angles are congruent. If corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So again, proving that they're parallel. So converse, corresponding. Angle 1 corresponds with 5. If I found out or was told that these are congruent, then I could say in a proof that the lines are parallel because of converse corresponding angles. But I would have to know that 1 and 5 are congruent first. So 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 7, 3, 8, and 4. So those are all the pairs of corresponding angles, but you would have to prove that they're congruent, or find that they're congruent to prove that the lines are parallel. Triangle sum theorem. So we're kind of backing away from parallel lines, but we're still going to come back to them. Triangle sum theorem, that the inside of every triangle adds up to something, all those angles. So I'm hoping you know, but the triangle sum says each of these angles, the measure of those angles, add up to 180. So each triangle will always add up to 180, whether it's obtuse or acute, it doesn't matter. They always add up to 180. And so if you were given one angle or two angles, hopefully you could find the third angle. And hopefully you could do that whether there was algebra involved or just straight numbers, numerical values. You need to be able to find the missing values of triangle angles. Just add them up to 180. Okay, rules that can only be used if the lines are parallel. So you have to know the lines are parallel first. Well, there's only a couple rules that say if the lines are parallel, then, and it tells you a rule. So let's go over those. We've kind of talked about some of them already. So if the lines are parallel, then, here's the first word, rule, same side interior angles, and hopefully you know that they should be supplementary. Some teachers, when you're writing a proof, even say that you have to write same side interior angles supplementary or equal 180. And you could abbreviate these depending on your teacher, so talk to them. Corresponding angles will be equal if the lines are parallel. If the lines are parallel, alternate interior angles will be congruent. If the lines are parallel, alternate exterior angles will be congruent. So all of these theorems or rules work only when the lines are parallel. Exterior angle of a triangle. Exterior, think on the outside. And this one is really a lot easier with a visual, so I'm going to go straight to this one. This is the exterior angle. When you have a triangle, there's a line extended out, one of the sides. One of the sides is extended. The angle that's created is the exterior. So together, angle 3 and 4 create a line. That's a linear pair. So they would add up to 180. But these two angles over here, when added up, they equal angle 4. So if it's hard to understand why, let me show you. This equals 180. Together, all three of these angles equal 180. So if You have angle 4, and you add angle 3 to it. That equals 180. Then angles 1 and 2, so you have the angle 1 and 2 together, plus that angle 3, still equal 180. So that means these two faraway angles, remote interior, have to equal this exterior. Okay, and that's a rule that will come up in proofs on occasion. Transversal. Usually we use transversals when we're talking about parallel lines, but that is the line that cuts through the parallel lines. Okay, so it's just the line that cuts it. Vertical angles are the ones that we may have seen already, but they're across the vertex from each other. So here, there's these two intersecting lines or segments. Angle A is congruent to B. These top and bottom angles right here are also congruent. Vertical angles are always congruent. Supplementary, we mentioned these a little bit before. Supplementary could be used in addition to like a linear pair. Those are supplementary angles because they add up to 180. Angles on a line add up to 180. So those angles are supplementary. So supplementary angles could be on a line, they might not, but they add up to 180 degrees. Angles on a line. They are literally angles on a line. So supplementary and angles on a line can be interchangeable depending on the teacher. Some teachers don't want you to do that, so talk to your teacher. But when you have angles all on one line at one point, that's important that they're all at one point, and then they will always add up to 180. So it's very similar to supplementary if you see that. Oops. Okay, now this one is tricky because this also seems like the same thing. They're on a line, they're angles, but this is a pair. So this rule can only be used if indeed makes a line and there's two angles. So it has to be two angles, they add up to 180. Now, if I saw this and I wanted to use the rule supplementary, these two angles are supplementary, I could because that is a true statement. Or I could say these angles are on a line. That is also a true statement. So talk to your teacher, make sure you understand or you know which rule that your teacher prefers. But this is a linear pair because there are two. If there were three, I can't call it a linear pair or any more than two. Same side interior. You need to know those and you need to be able to identify those. So think about it. The same side of the transversal, that blue line, and inside the parallel lines. So 2 and 5 are same side interior. That means angle 5 plus angle 2 will add up to 180. Same with 3 and 8. Okay, so together they add up to 180 degrees. They are supplementary. And this is how I tell my students to remember. Same side are supplementary, and they kind of look like a C. So that's a lot of S sounds. Same side are supplementary, and they look like a C or a backwards C. Backwards, like kind of blocky C. Okay, at the end of the flashcards, we have some blank cards for you. Please use those. Any vocab, any terms, any formulas that you still don't have memorized or understand, please put them on there and practice as much as possible so proofs will be a lot easier for you.